Hi, writers. Today in session 6, we shift gears and we move to a new genre of writing. We're leaving informational behind. Using the same information, we're going to go to opinion writing. Now, don't worry. We're going to be doing everything that we have already learned to do using many of the same resources we did earlier this year. So many things that you will recognize. So get ready to plan out our information before we draft in our next session. Good luck. In this session, Session 6, titled Boxes and Bullets, we are going to be moving to a different genre of writing. You're going to be starting a brand new chapter of your information book based on your subtopic, and we are going to go back to the drawing board and we are going to plan out an opinion piece of writing. Now, you may be looking at these notes and you may be thinking to yourself, wow, these look really familiar. And you would be right. These were the exact format of the notes that we wrote during our persuasive unit. And also later during the Christmas holiday when you wrote why your Christmas tradition was your favorite. So these notes are going to be really familiar to you, and the process is going to be very familiar to you. On the left-hand side, I have some reminders for you about things you need to think about when you start to plan your persuasive or opinion writing. So the most important part about an opinion piece is a bold opinion. So this is something that is something that you think about your subtopic that you're going to try to back up with reasons. Reasons from your sources, reasons, opinions that you have from doing your research. And then finally, you're going to back up those examples with the specific research that you have gathered while looking at websites and while looking through books. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to really think about what type of opinion do you have. That's going to be what everything else revolves around. So remember, my thesis or my subtopic is all about the battles of Lexington and Concord. Now, I have a little bit of a different subtopic. My subtopic has to do with the American Revolution, but again, my process is going to be the same as your process. So I have already thought about my thesis, so I have already typed it up here, and I'm going to put it in the circle that says my thesis. So this is my opinion. The battles of Lexington and Concord were important to the American Revolution. So this is my opinion, but I can't just have an opinion. I have to come up with 3 reasons why that opinion would be accurate. Those 3 reasons are going to come in the form of a thesis statement. Remember from before that a thesis statement is your thesis plus your 3 reasons that explain why your thesis is true. So I have gone and done that. In the long rectangle towards the bottom of your notes, you are going to see that I have highlighted a thesis statement is made up of your thesis, but it also has your reasons as well. Okay, so here's my thesis statement, and I'm going to highlight the different pieces so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. So my thesis is here. The battles of Lexington and Concord were important to the American Revolution. That's my big, bold opinion. My first reason is going to be because they were the first battles. That's where the shot was heard around the world. That was the first shot of the American Revolution. So it's first important because it was the first. All right, so let's go ahead and look at my second reason. It showed the Patriots' grit. Okay, it showed that they really wanted to be independent. And then my third reason is it showed the Patriots showed the British a new style of fighting, and that was why the two battles of Lexington and Concord were important to the Revolution. Now you notice that I have all of these things in one sentence, and I have my reasons separated by commas. I have a comma between my first and second reason. I have a comma between my second and third, and a conjunction here. So that's your format for the thesis statement. It's made up of your thesis and your three reasons. Okay, your second page, I have included my example once again on this second page because you will be first thinking about what you want your thesis or bold opinion to be. Now remember, this is all about your subtopic. So if your subtopic is about the Battle of the Alamo, what is your opinion about the Battle of the Alamo? Now, once you come up with your thesis, you're going to go directly to your reasons. Now, as we talked about during the persuasive unit, if you can only come up with one or two reasons that back up your opinion, you may want to rethink your thesis. Our goal is to have a strong thesis statement with strong reasons. Now, once you have thought about your thesis and you have laid out your three reasons, remember each reason is going to stand alone in its own paragraph. Once you have those laid out, you're going to go ahead and start to sketch out, or not sketch out, but write out the reasons and the examples from your research. So this page is where you are going to do that. So you will write out your reason number one, and then you will write out exactly what information you have that proves the theory correct. Excuse me. Now, these details, these details do not need to be incomplete sentences. So I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So my first reason is these were the first battles of the American Revolution. Okay, so like I said before, I will probably want to include in my first paragraph the shot heard around the world. This is when the first shot happened. I will probably also want to include that the British had planned to take supplies and kidnap people. Or I should be more specific, kidnap rebel leaders. Okay, that's going to be also something that goes with the first battles of the American Revolution. So remember that these are just notes. You're not going to start drafting until the next session, session 7. But this is a very important session to